Hey everybody, we're live and it's Tuesday and I kind of know what we're going to do tonight, so that's always exciting. So, hey everybody, I already see Jill. So, hey Jill, glad that you are home safe from travels. And I love doing denim jackets. Y'all always see me doing denim jackets, and I'm getting ready to video doing a denim jacket. So it's a project that I had kind of been working on in my head. So I thought I would like welcome you into my madness. So you know how I am. I am all over the place. It is a mess in here. I know it's a mess. I either had a choice of cleaning up before going on camera, getting coffee, or, brushing my hair for a moment. So we all make choices. So, hey, everybody. Again, I am glad to be here. It's Tuesday, and we're going to do a little fun magic and work on something tonight. So, lean in. You know, I am a Tennessee gal. And so, if you're a Tennessee gal, you have to love Dolly Parton. It's just in our DNA. We have season passes to Dollywood, and we go quite a bit. So, I had made a Dolly inspired jacket, and it's one of the ones that went missing. And I'm not remaking any of those jackets except I'm going to remake Dolly because, I just can't not have a Dolly jacket. So I thought I would ask you and we could talk about it and we could do some stuff. And then when I show it, you'll know that you are part of it. And that way you had a say in kind of what I'm doing or get to see behind the scenes. So I'm just going to kind of show some things. So here's some rhinestones. And so here's a rhinestone template. So we're going to talk about that. And I printed some designs. Does this not, look at this, y'all. I mean, look, trying to find the end here. Look at this. Does that not just scream Dolly? So this trim is going to be on the jacket. So we have trim that's going on the jacket, and we have some rhinestones going on the jacket, and we have some embroidery, we have some DTV, we have some sublimation. So quite a few things going on with it. But I kind of thought I would let you see how I create a jacket and how I kind of go about the thought process sometimes. So sometimes it truly starts with an image. So this is Dolly, obviously, and this is printed on DTV. So just ran it through my printer. And then typically the first thing I do is I start to cut it. So I'm just going to show you kind of the process behind some of this. And then I'll show different steps for it. So the first thing that I kind of do is I cut it to where it's a manageable size. And then I decide where it's going to go. So for this jacket, and I'm just going to hold it up like this just because it's easier than putting it under the camera right this moment. So we have to think, do we want her here? And do we want her looking that way or here and looking towards towards the inside of the jacket, I guess. So that's the first step. So where do y'all think? So do we want her on this side looking towards the jacket or this side looking away from the jacket? So I need to know which way are we putting her. So tell me if it's towards the jacket, because I feel like she would be looking inside. So yes, I see we've got towards the inside. So that's kind of that first thought process. So then I kind of look at the shape of her and decide how I want to add that. Well, for now, I can tell you she's not going to be a square. There's nothing square about Miss Dolly. So the first thing I'm going to do is just start fussy cutting or kind of randomly cutting. And I'm going to cut around her a little bit. So that way I'm just kind of doing a quick little fussy cut and giving her a little bit of character as I cut it. And we can see how that just dramatically changes how she looks just by cutting off a lot of that squareness, for lack of a better word. So see how she's already coming to life more just by doing that first little cut. So that way she's kind of coming to life. And then I'm going to place her down. And I feel like this bottom piece right here, still a little bit too angular. So we're going to just do a little cutting just to give her kind of a softer shoulder and go from that. So Sandra, this is not sublimation paper. This is Easy Color DTV. So it's for our inkjet printers, a really easy way to take an image and to be able to add it to a project. So now you can see, or you can't see, but I can, but I'll show you under camera. Let me know this first look. How is she looking? So let's change camera views and check it out just a little bit. Well, all of a sudden, you know how we have problems sometimes. My camera button was there and I was starting to panic. And it's like, okay, not today, my friends, not today. But there she is. So see how I've just by starting to cut her, how she is looking. And, you know, we're going to have the collar down. So I feel like she needs to come over just a little. And I'm going to cut it straight through here to go right above that part of the collar of the pocket. So just like this. And now on this side, I feel like she needs a little bit more work. So I'm just going to take and cut into her hair just a little bit. See, that way it gave it just a little curve to it to really get to see that hair. So now she would be ready to press. So that was step number one, just showing her. So that's the first thing. I'm going to set that aside. This is going to be rhinestones. So we can even do that right now and kind of talk about it. So I have rhinestones, and this is a template that I created forever ago. And you can see I have tape on it, and let me show you. I have tape because sometimes I don't need as many holes showing. I don't need the rhinestones to go all the way down here. So here, that would be a nice enough set. So I'm just going to pour my rhinestones in, and then I would be ready. And I typically do half and then do half is how I do my rhinestones. I have my rhinestones. I have my tape. But what I don't have is my cute little brush. So I'm reaching, trying to, there we go. Found it. So now I have cute little rhinestones. And circle, circle, circle. I love doing rhinestones. How about y'all? Do you love rhinestones? Because I really do. I love the magic of them. I feel like every once in a while, it's about time to get a new brush, I feel like. Every once in a while, we got to break down and get a new one. This one has been brushing for a long time. There we go. And there's always that one. I feel like if they're toddlers, there's always the one that has to misbehave. There we go. And it always takes longer when you're trying to do it and not make a mess like you would if you were doing them regularly. There. There we go. Move those out of the way. And I have some stragglers. Usually I have this in a little pan, but it's harder to do on video, I feel like, when it's in the pan behind it. Some of you know how I do it a lot of times, but I'm not going to disclose that just yet. So then what do? We put this down and go. So now I have these ready to roll. So that would be my next step, is to be ready to press those. I'm going to take this. We're going to change camera views for a moment, and I'll get these rhinestones out of the way. And that way I can see comments and that kind of thing. So thank you for everybody. I absolutely love getting to do lives and to get to hang out with y'all. To me, it's the highlight of my week. I have some new formats and some things going on that I'm trying. You know, unfortunately with social media, things change, just like, you know, not being able to record lives the same with StreamYard. So there's always changes. So let me throw these in to get them out of the way for the moment. Thanks for the thumbs up. That's right, Pamela. We need the love. We need to keep sharing. We need to let all of our friends know this is the place to be. And some of you, I know that y'all are constant. I see you when I'm doing lives, and I love how you support so many of us, and we appreciate it. So now we have rhinestones, we have dolly, we have trim that's going to be added. So this is going to be embroidery. So this will be on the back of the jacket. Man, that changed my lighting tremendously. This will be on the back of my jacket. And this is an Urban Threads design. I am going to change it just a little bit because I'd like to put some foil behind it. So I'm going to change the density a little bit. But look at that butterfly. So anybody that knows Dolly loves butterflies. So butterfly and guitar, perfect. And then for applique on the front under the pocket, I'm going to do something like these records. Right now it says greatest hits, but I'll probably do something like 9 to 5 and then, you know, something here. So 2 of her songs, probably Jolene, something like that. My last jacket said in a world full of Jolene's be a dolly, so I'm not going to duplicate that. I'm not really duplicating anything on it other than the other one did have a picture of her and it did have some trim. So these records will be applique, and like I said, I will probably do either, I don't know for sure. I may do one gold, like, you know, a platinum kind of a gold album in gold metal HTV, and I may do one in black, but I'll make a decision on that pretty quick. And then for across the back of the jacket, I'm going to do her signature. So it's just Dolly in white glitter. And that way that'll show up across the back of that. And Sandra, the way I lost them, still so sad. I shipped them to an event. I shipped 9 jackets, 2 dresses, 2 purses, and 1 lonely gnome. And the United States Postal Service lost them. So it's been much sadness. I was in depression for a while over it and really wasn't in the mood to create. But I created my New Orleans jacket and I'm back. I'm on a roll. So Carrie, do you think those are the right songs to put? So y'all let me know, what songs do you think I could put on the records? What would you put? And then since I said, I go to Dollywood, this was a patch. And yes, I could make a patch. But it's so much fun to get to buy pieces when I'm traveling. And I was at Dollywood, so I bought this patch to go on the jacket. And I was at a reseller and they had this patch. So Dolly for President. And then I was not at Dollywood, but I was at the water park at Dollywood. And there was this sticker. And it cost a lot of money to look this cheap. Well, I absolutely love this. But, what is it? It's a sticker. So some of you that watch me know exactly what I'm going to do with this sticker. I'm going to put it on the copier and I'm going to make another one out of DTV. And then I can press it on the jacket. So here are some of the elements that will go on there. And I may be up at 2 tonight working on this because I'm so excited that all of these elements are coming together. And like I said, I thought what a better way to kind of share with you some of the behind the scenes of doing that. So we know that Romeo and Juliet do a beautiful job of print and cut. We love, love, love print and cut. So I already did this process, but I have to kind of walk through it. White glitter HTV and my sublimation print, and I sublimated to it. And then I did a print and cut, and look at these cute little sublimated glitter cowboy boots. Oh my gosh, Mr. Crafty Pants, what'd you miss? You missed a bunch. We have been so, so busy. But I know you'll see behind the scenes later, so no worries. So aren't those beautiful? They're just adorable. And so now I'm going to say that it doesn't have to be white. You can sublimate on other colors of glitter. This pair, I did it in silver first. It didn't look good because of the refraction. It looked blurry almost. So not all designs are going to look as good as others. We all know one of my favorite, lemon sugar. I love sublimating on lemon sugar. And I love pink neon. But I can't wait. And look, I did them in both directions because I really am not sure which side I'm going to put it on. Just like when I was asking y'all, which way do I put her? I wasn't really sure. So I did both. So we got those. We got the patches. Now, this is where I am going to gross some of you out almost. And that's a weird word. But follow me down this rabbit hole, if you will. So I'm going to move that out of the way so that I can get camera and jacket because I need help on one other decision. I do. So here, and let's roll over to here. Okay, see jacket. See the pocket? This is Caesar adhesive. So it's just like a clear vinyl. You see us using it with foil a lot of times. So I want the size of this pocket. So what am I going to do? Because, I am so techie. Look, it's a Sharpie. I'm going to have to turn it at an angle. I can't draw this way. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just drew on myself. Look. So now I'm going to cut it, and then we'll see how it is. And I can kind of fix it a little bit. But that's how techie I am, because sometimes we don't need cutters. We don't need everything. We just need a little bit. So a Sharpie and scissors can do wonders. So this is this one. Pretty darn close to me. And then I'm going to cut it right there once I press it. So it'll go in. So here's this side. So let's do the other side. And again, I'll have to move it around because I need an angle to hold it down and to be able to draw. What do you think to this method of my madness here? Some of you may have seen my DTV shoes that I did. And I, again, with that one, used a Sharpie. There. I used a Sharpie and wax press and seal paper. I forget sometimes I'm not under camera. There. So now we have this pocket. So I have heat press on. So I'm going to switch over to the heat press. I can see comments now for a moment. And I think that I'm moving stuff out of the way as we go because I'm going to make a mess in just a minute. Be prepared, everyone. Be prepared. So let's see if I can press it this way. So I didn't think about angles all the way here. And for this first one, I'm just wanting to get it tacked down. Should have had my table standing tonight, but I didn't think it all through. You know how it is. Okay, so that's been pressed on. So now I'm just going to kind of look at my edges. Right here, it didn't adhere real well. So I'm going to get a pressing pillow and put under it so that I can get better pressure because I definitely want this to be sticking. Yeah, that would be a fun live to see Mr. Crafty Pants doing some jeans. He could do some crafty jeans. And if anyone is living under a rock, if anybody's under a rock and just now watching, you need to be following Mr. Crafty Pants, and you definitely need to be following because I heard some announcements are going to be made soon. So just saying. So now I'm pressing that one again while the other one kind of cools off so that you can help me make some decisions. And if you don't have a pressing pillow, several things you can use. I use, depending on what it is, I use like heat pads that you know, those kind of things, oven mitts, all kinds of things like that. And so now here's the second one. Are you ready for this? So this is going to be fun. And some of you are going to be like, ooh. So I have paper here and a folded towel. Yes, Jill. So this is going to come off, and this is where the adhesive comes into play. So for those of you that have never used adhesive, Caesar adhesive, like I said, it's clear. If you were putting it on your cutter, that shiny side would go down, you would weed it, and then you would press it. And we use it with foil a lot, but not tonight. So I'm pulling that off, and I'm going to change to where you can see in just a moment. So I pulled that. Somewhere I have tiny scissors. I'm going to cut the slit right there just because I want to I want to be able to close that up. I want to have the button on there sometimes. So now I have where I can get to my button on that one. And I'm going to let this one peel it off also. And you can see how it just has that shimmer. You can tell exactly where it's laying. And there's a little piece of overhang right here. I'm going to get it with a pair of scissors. And that's all right. Let's see. I'm missing something in the conversation, and I can't scroll and look and go back. So Shay says something. Let me see. Pink. I saw that. If Ashley's watching, yes, please close your eyes. And I am plotting the boots with the deco foil, if you've not seen that. Okay, so this one also has it. Now, so you've seen some of the elements. You've seen all of the elements of this. So are we going to use Killer Tofu, which is white rainbow glitter? So, or are we going to use Heat Wave, which is a hot pinkish with some gold in it? Or this one's a chunkier one, so it's a little bit more difficult, but we could try. I have, this one is called Golden Flamingo. And I'm going to change the camera so that you can see it. I'm going to change it so you can see all of them. That way I can get opinions. So if you can see, this has pinks, several colors of pinks, and then silver and gold mixed in it. So that's one. I'm really leaning towards the white just because I really think that'll add that shimmer to the rest of the jacket. So that's what I'm leaning towards, is the white. This is looking very red here, but it's not. It's got pink hues to it. But now that I'm holding it, I don't think I like this one. So I may vote that one off the island myself. So what are y'all thinking? Are we thinking ooh, ah? Because I am. I'm seeing pink. More pink the better. And it's got to be pink. I love that one. Which one? The flamingo. I'm loving the golden flamingo. It's not going to look quite as chunky just because, but I may do a little UV resin behind the scenes just to coat some more. So I'm going to try this one. So what do we think? Okay, we need a final answer. White or the golden flamingo? And the golden flamingo, y'all saw, it's really chunky. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking? Because I'm putting it on the press. And I'm going to change my camera view just so you can see me pour it. And maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe. So let's look at the camera view over here. because you do waste some and make a little bit of a mess, and then you have to you put it back. It's no big deal. It's just glitter. So that way you can see here. I'm going to do the first edge, and then I've got paper. And you can see I'm doing very heavy because I can always brush it off. And I've got that 10 seconds, and then we'll clean up mess and do the other one. Look. Oh my gosh, y'all. This, I got to show. I have to show in a different view. Look. Oh, it's phenomenal. I'm so excited. And I will probably, this is 1,000 times better than I thought. Ooh, let's look at it under the other camera. I really wasn't expecting as much from that chunky. And I am loving this. Absolutely loving this, everybody. So I'm so glad that I waited to do this on a live instead of just doing it, because now I get to see, kind of get to see, but look. Wow. I feel like it should scream all by itself. Look, that is just phenomenal. Of course, some of this I may have in my house, 30 years from now. But hey, that is all in the game of crafting, right? We love these things. So while we're chatting, and don't be doing that. You know that Dobby gets scared every time I'm around. I think Dobby hears my voice through the phone and gets excited. So we don't want to scare Dobby more. So now I'm taking said glitter and I'm pouring it back in here, kind of cleaning up my mess just a little bit. And then we're going to do the next one because, I'm so excited. I'm looking at myself in the camera realizing I kind of look like a hot mess today. So Ron and I almost put our house on the market last night at about 10:30. That's a normal time to want to sell your house or burn it to the ground. But for the first time, we had a snake on our front porch. And believe it or not, it was on a railing and wrapping itself around one of the big flamingos that's out on the front porch. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? It was awful. I thought we might starve to death because both of us didn't want to go outside and we needed to get groceries, but we were scared to walk outside because I'm a baby. Absolutely a baby when it comes to snakes. And especially if it's a big snake, and this one seemed ginormous. So and believe it or not, I really didn't make that big of a mess, but I am reaching back here and getting another set of paper. And I'm putting the top on glitter before I knock that over. And doing a quick brush off. This weekend, I'm teaching at a retreat. So if any of you are watching, you may still see some of this glitter on me on Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be flying home and still have glitter and unknown. So Evelyn, you asked questions that most people would seem logical. What kind of snake? I don't know. It was big. It didn't look like a chicken snake, but it could have been. but I didn't get close enough. And yes, some snakes are very good to have around, just kind of like I'm very allergic to bees, but we have to have bees. But I don't want it on my front porch at all. So we're now, guess what? Let's do the next one. So excited. Oh my goodness. So excited. And you know I'll be wearing this to Dollywood come Monday. Ready? Let's pour some glitter on here. I'm going to pour it. It's so much easier. And again, I'm doing that same that I did last time. I'm pouring it pretty thick because I would rather have too much. There's no such thing as too much, really. And I'm covering it again with that same messy so that I contain it all. And ready, press. I do tend to, share a little glitter joy. And no snake zone. So how does the glitter stay on without flaking off? It has that glue behind it, so it kind of glues itself. And it's not going to hold up in 1,000 washes or anything like that. But I've done a couple different projects, and it really does hold up pretty well. One, that heat kind of bakes that into that adhesive. And that adhesive is very soft from the heat. And just like the adhesive when we're putting HTV on items, it sticks to our shirt. That glitter is sticking to it. And look, I really am going to have this everywhere for days. Now I'm bringing this one over. And I'm flaking. And I'll probably put a little bit of a clear top coat over it, so that will help seal it a little bit more, especially since it's just pockets. I'll tape the other off and just do a quick spray so that helps it. And now I'm trying to kind of clean up again, just because if I don't do it now, I'll come back to it and it'll seem like it's grown. So, a lot of people do like snakes, and I'm petrified of snakes and spiders. Mice don't bother me. Other things don't really freak me out. But I was giving swimming lessons at Girl Scout camp many years ago, and a snake was swimming in the water, and it went around my ankle. And I had a near Jesus moment of walking on water. Yes, this will be washable, and over time you will lose some. I'm not going to lie about that. But a denim jacket, I don't wash mine that often at all. I kind of wear them and try not to get them too messed up. But I will machine wash it. And I love the idea of that. And like I said, I will put a little clear coat tomorrow when it's sunshiny outside. I will take and tape it off and just spray just a little bit of a top coat of a clear coat over that to give it just a little bit more of a sealant. But for now, I'm absolutely in love with it. And when I say absolutely in love with it, what I really mean is I am absolutely in love with it. And now I think that I'm going to be busy tonight, because now I've got to stitch all this stuff and create all this stuff, because I can't wait to post it. So what kind of glitter did I use? We ended up voting for, this was Glitter Chimp. So back, you can see I have, these are just the ones that I grabbed. And so Glitter Guy Glitter Chimp and Glitterville are my favorites. Glitterville is a little pricey, so I'm very selective in what projects I use it with. So behind me, you can see, I'm just going to show off how beautiful these bottles are. I feel like I should ooh and ah and do it like Vanna White, ooh, ah. But this is Glitterville Glitter, and I absolutely love theirs, and that's a beautiful color. So I have some glitter. I have a little bit of everything. So, any questions, any comments, anything that I can, I'm talking, so I will even show you one of my favorite glitters. And this one, believe it or not, is a Michael's glitter, which is, you can tell here I had hundreds and hundreds, but I have tried to get rid of a few of them. But I've got, these were Mickey Mouse head. They're the shape of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and all these different ones that I'm trying to put back in this little tote. These are in the shape of flamingos. So this is such a cute, 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 cute glitter that I've used for some different little projects. But I'm trying to, look at me trying to put stuff away while I'm talking to y'all. Like I said, y'all know me. It's a hot mess express. So, Mr. Crafty Pants, question, would you put like a gloss Maker's Mark over that glitter to seal it? Or do you think a clear coat? What's your opinion? Did I ever get any of the Feather Bear glitter? No. So tell me more. And I'll probably be Googling that in just a few because I love glitter. I used to do tumblers way back in the day. I taught classes. I could spin 24 at a time. So I had spinners galore, the whole 9 yards. I loved teaching it until I got tired of teaching it. My favorite one is still, I love the zipper on the outside with fabric on a tumbler. I just think those are beautiful. So I did Maker's Mark is a bourbon. You know where my mind is. So Maker's Magic. And so Maker's Magic is a beautiful product. They have scorch paint. And so, yeah, I'm going to try this on top of it. So I will let you know. And yes, I will definitely be posting this. You know I will. I won't be showing that on any video because I did it live. So that way, that's one part that I don't have to worry about. But I will film some little snippets of doing some of the rest of it. I feel like I may have this on my hands until next week's live when I come back. So, you never know. I may still have it. And the more you try to pick it up, you know how it is. It's always there. It always go back to the bourbon. It does go back to the bourbon. Some of us are even known for eating too many bourbon balls during a live. Don't know who that would be. Do not know. But I do know that this jacket is on fire. I am so excited. Do you know that Dolly would probably rip this off of me? She would love it so much because I love it that much. And that's just the pockets. That's just the pockets. I still have all the other great work to do. So everybody, I better get off of here and I better get going because I've got some stuff to do tonight. So thanks so much for being here. It's been a wonderful Tuesday night. And again, Friday night, be sure to follow over at Mr. Crafty Pants because he's got some stuff going on. And I can't wait to hear more about it. And I can't wait for y'all to hear more about it. And June, are you coming to see me in Pittsburgh? Do you know your schedule yet? Because I'm going to be in Pittsburgh at the end of August in Harmony. And I am so excited to be going. this weekend I'm going to be in Wellington, Kansas, and we are going to have a phenomenal time. And we are doing vinyl and crafting and scan and cut and all the things. I think there may be some other cutters there and embroidery. So I can't wait. And D, getting a hint out of him, you know, if you get him started, he will spill all the beans. He will spill the beans. He's been putting hints up. I've seen all kinds of emojis. And then he had the audacity to ask, what is, you know, he's talking about Christmas in July and birthday, and it's all about him and his birthday. But, you know, it's my birthday coming up too. So next week, Sunday, I will be having a grand birthday. I will be traveling and probably catching up on all the social media that I missed out on. So I can't wait to find out. I will be there on the live to hear. So I get to see and hear with y'all. It's not about the birthday. It's just a bonus. We know for me, it is about the birthday. I love my birthday. I got my first birthday present tonight. Ron got me a beautiful pink pair of headphones. He let me have them early. So he's getting those charged up so I can wear them on the plane. So I can't wait. And Carrie, Sunday is the best day. 7:27. Can't get better. So everybody have a great night. Thanks so much for cheering me on. Thanks for watching. And let me know in the rewatch how much you enjoyed it. Bye, everybody. And some of you, I'll see some of your names Friday night. Bye, gang.